my name is halqery. Welcome back to the Pokemon Legends Arceus All Lords tutorial series. Now you may notice there's no game audio here for this segment. For whatever reason, the game audio from this recording is horribly desynced and I cannot figure out a practical way to solve it. But first thing we're going to do, as always, is we're going to check Ginter. He sold me another Pokeball set. Only check Ginter if you've caught 20 Pokemon since the last time you shot from him, because that is the trigger for a new shop being here from Ginter. Is catching 20 Pokemon. I'm gonna turn this music down a little bit. Okay. Yeah, and he also sold me a raspberry set. Very, very, very good if you get this. If you don't get a raspberry set, I recommend buying more orange berries, about 10, 15, 20, whatever you feel comfortable with. Gonna buy a couple hope berries. I like to have like 8, and then you want to make sure you have enough bugworts to cover the amount of hope berries you have. So I'm gonna buy 22 here, because 8 times 3 is 24. That's about the extent of the math I can do. I'm actually also going to go to the training grounds because I need to get a little bit more iron for what I want to make. The first time you talk to this guy, he's going to give you a cutscene explaining that he wants you to make a Pokeshi doll. We're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to be able to shop from him. It's worth it because at this point, we're not really going to be farming obsidian anymore or anything like that, or farming ores. So I have enough apricorns. I have enough tumblestones, so the ingredient I'm lacking is iron chunks. So I'm gonna buy 20 more iron chunks, 21 more iron chunks. And then he has a crafting table right next to him, so you can go ahead and craft those great balls that you just bought the materials for. And then we're going to, I forgot to mention, this video started after the cutscene at the beach that you would have watched if you follow the path of the game. Leave Crimson Mirelands, go to the professor, check in your research, go to the professor, and then when you wake up, he sends you to the beach for that cutscene, and then that's where the video started today. I forgot to make that known right away. Just so, I didn't want my video to be filled with anything unnecessary, and watching that cutscene for a tutorial is kind of unnecessary. So, we gotta go back into the commander's office again. I've got 7 spoiled apricorns, that is plenty for what we need. And then we're going to warp to the front gate. And this is why we emptied our inventory earlier. So that we could accept these items from Leon. Yeah, he's going to give you these great items. We're not really going to use them, unfortunately. So we're gonna go to Coastlands camp, and then we already have the Starly in our party, so we're just gonna simply run forward and talk to Rita, and we're gonna fight her. And then ideally Arita does this, ice beams your Starly immediately. However, if Arita does no, okay, if Arita does that, and she does the baby doll eyes instead, Starly is actually the weakest Pokemon you can own. Starly has less physical defense than Wurmple. I don't know if that was a fact you were expecting to hear today, but it is the absolute truth. So if Arita's Glaceon chooses not to attack you, strong quick attack from Eevee can kill Starly, and Eevee usually sees that kill and goes for it. That's why we use Starly here to lose that battle, because it's weak to Glaceon and should bait Ice Beam, but in case it doesn't bait Ice Beam, Eevee can take care of it. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we are going to run down to the beach real quick and get Spheals. We're not going to do any party management at all. We don't need to. Grab Caster Ferns. All right, so we're gonna get in a circle, and I'm gonna cry about not having any orange berries, so I'm gonna have to waste my hard-earned raspberries, which is fine, I guess. This is probably one of the best usages of raspberries because Spheals don't have very good catch rates. You want to catch exactly 3 seals. Not 2, not 4. You want to feed 4 of them and make sure you have 3 exactly in your party. Because we need the other 2 spots in the party for something else. So just kind of wait around and make sure things get in. All right, everything got in, good. And grab these pop pods. These are the other components besides caster ferns for scatterbangs. Now, if you didn't get any tangos or you didn't feed enough, there's some tangos right here. There's one where you just saw it, and there's actually one also on this little spot right here, right beyond this little bush. So I wouldn't catch those tangos now, only if you miss some feeds. And then that is the closest I've ever seen that alpha Machoke. Holy moly. All right, so Machop is really easy. You're gonna stun 2 of them and catch 2 of them, and they're gonna go right into the party. And then if you see a Machoke, you want to go ahead and stun it. It takes 2 spoiled apricorns to stun. And then you want to go ahead and catch a Scroopy if you can. I would have also grabbed that pop pod, but I was more preoccupied with the Scroopy. The Scroopy is really not that important. All right, let me get a new song, because I love Cobalt Coastlands 1, but I don't want to hear it again. Oh my god. Never mind, that was Cobalt Coastlands 2. All right, there we go. All right, so what did I miss? Okay, so Beautifly. Beautifly is kind of tricky. Those great balls we made, we want to go ahead and use those on Beautifly, just because it can be kind of stubborn. You do want to initiate the catch with a backstrike, because that is your best odds of actually getting the catch secured. And then right here, you want to go ahead and use a stealth spray. This little jump up here, up to where we're doing this segment, it's not that challenging. I'd recommend practicing it a little bit. It's pretty simple. It's a pretty straight line to run up. You only need to jump up here at the end. It can be tricky to get Weirdeer's feet up here. If you're having trouble, you can try that dismount and remount trick that I did in Crimson. It should get you up there pretty solidly, but otherwise it's not too difficult. Then you're going to use a stealth spray. Then there's okay, so I was like, I'm done using my raspberries, so I'm gonna harvest this tree. Don't be like me, please have enough food. Okay, so we're gonna feed this Growlithe, and we're gonna run up here, jump up here, and then there's 2 more Growliths up here. They basically exist within 2 spheres. This is left Growlithe, this is right Growlithe. So I usually throw a berry over here for left Growlithe, which you can actually see it right here. And then I throw a berry over here for right Growlithe, which you cannot see. But it is there. Growlithe is 100% guaranteed to be 2 spawns up here. This first berry actually doesn't trigger Growlithe, even though it's right there and can clearly smell it. So I have to get a little bit closer and do that. And then the 4th berry we need to feed, because this is a feed 4, catch 1. We're gonna refeed the first one, because by the time we've thrown 2 berries towards the ones up here, that one has finished eating. So backstrike with a great ball. I believe this one breaks out, so I have to catch it again. If it breaks out like this, don't try to catch it right now. Do not try to catch it right now. Don't try to catch it right now. Catch it right now. This is right before it chooses to go aggressive, and there's a small window to catch it. Otherwise, I would run down this way and catch the lower level Growlithe. Or not the lower level, but the one on the one on the lower level. They're all like the same level range. Okay, so if you don't have enough Parises yet, there's some Parises down here for you. You need 4, like I said earlier. If I get a 4th one, because I have 2 large specimens, if I get a 4th one, I'm done. Otherwise, Paris is going to be left hanging, which is fine. Spoiler alert, just for those that are curious. As of recording this, I've finished recording this entire project. You only need 8,500 points to beat the game. I had 9,900. So it is definitely okay for things to not go your way, for you to leave some things unfinished. It is certainly fine. I had 1,400 extra points by the end of this, so definitely don't feel obligated to absolutely copy me and waste time trying to stick around for things that don't want to cooperate. Just move on. Yeah, try to throw a ball at every odd thing you can. And we need to catch one more Beautifly. I think we actually had a breakout on the first one. So I'm gonna run behind this one and backstrike it. And hopefully this Beautifly didn't see me. It didn't. Cool. So I'm gonna throw a ball and miss. And I'm gonna throw a ball and hit. And then magically get it for some reason. So for these Glammeows, you need to feed 3 and catch 3, or feed 4, catch 1. A lot of this research you can kind of like figure out for yourself and just kind of play with on the tracker. The Ranger program that I have linked in the description. It's very, very helpful for anything you might want to just understand. Or, you know, gain a better understanding of why I do something. Anything you see in the tutorial document where it's like, there's no way it only takes that much to finish the research. You can go ahead and input the research task and be like, oh, yeah, it does only take that much research. It's crazy. Yeah, we're gonna run over here to Polina. I wanted to wait for the orange berries to get in my inventory. You shouldn't need to pick up any orange berries. I make bad decisions. So definitely buy your orange berries, kids. All right, this is a pretty lengthy cutscene. So after this, we're gonna warp back to camp. I'm gonna deposit my items. And then I'm gonna craft whatever scatterbangs I can right now. Usually, hopefully you'd have like 3 or 4 scatterbangs, but I only had 2 because I ignored some pop pods. And then we're gonna sleep until evening. This next segment of the game is about to become an auto scroller because we have to burn around 2 minutes or so until nighttime. Because if you played this game casually, you know that there's a Dusclops you're required to catch for the story. So, you know, while you're running this way, just throw a ball at anything you don't have yet. Kind of try to make your way down to the beach so you can grab more pop pods. If you're me and didn't pick up an adequate number of scatterbangs. Buizel's a good catch, pretty easy. I don't think this one got in. I heard it was breaking out, so I got behind this one and threw a ball at it. And then you can go ahead and start catching some Apoms here. Apom is on our list of things to do. So gaining some Apoms here is really not a bad idea. And then this line, walking up here is really not that difficult. It's about as easy as I made it look. You can make it faster by running and jumping multiple times, but if you just walk like this, you're going to be pretty successful. Okay. So if you feel like you're doing pretty well. Oh god, what song is this? Wait, no, I want I'm sorry, I'm trying to. All right, there we go. Okay, so if you're making good time and you know what you're doing and you're confident and you're comfortable, if you see Golducks here, you can start to kind of work on them early, because like I said, this is an auto scroller. There's a fixed amount of time you have to spend waiting. So if you have spoiled apricorns free and there are Golducks here, you might as well stun 2 and try to stun with 2 spoiled apricorns and try to catch them. I use Pokeballs because, you know, I don't want to waste my Great Balls on something I can just do in the next area anyway with a better version of the ball. And then you want to use your Stealth Spray. And by now, one of your Machops should be ready to go. If not, it's not the end of the world. Another thing you can do if you're, you know, struggling to fill the time, is use the move that we need to see Machoke see. But right now, we're gonna feed some Chadots. Feed 2 with a Raspberry. Make sure it's a Raspberry. Chadot's catch rate is not good even with the Raspberry. The Chadots you catch don't necessarily have to be the ones you've fed. As long as you've fed 2, you can go around and just, you know, try to round up every single Chadot you see. But I think my first 2 got in. Like, you can catch that one in front of me. You can catch the other ones around here. It's not a big deal. Like that one. You can just toss a ball. You don't have to be stealthy or unspotted or anything like that. All right, after Spheal breaks open this crate, I'm going to hit the Starly in the back, which makes me always go first, like we said before. I'm gonna see Machoke use strong bullet punch. That's gonna do a lot of research for Machoke, and actually leave it at a point right now where after we fight Ingo's Machoke, it will be done right now, as of right now, because I stunned one and then I beat Ingo's Machoke. If you didn't stun one, you might have to see this one, this move usage that I just did here and bring it to Fire Spit Island. But hopefully not. And like I said, it's okay to skip things. I did too much. In this series, I did way too much. I was trying to craft more scatterbangs and I accidentally threw a great ball. Lovely. All right, we need to use a stealth spray, and then I'm going to actually throw a great ball with the intent to catch. Catch the Drifloon because it's just being nosy. All right, now we've got some Dusclops to take care of. Try not to let them see you. Get in the grass and crouch. And then these scatterbangs have a massive radius. I'll try to point out what the radius would be based off this. Okay, so the radius, like, you can kind of see like the faint line here of where the explosion ended. It actually goes out to like right here. It's a really, really, really big perimeter. So if you feel like you're gonna hit it, you probably are. Now you need to stun these things 4 times for a safe finish. You can finish with 3 stuns, 3 scares, if you catch your Dust Gull unspotted. But scaring 4 lets you just, catch 1 regardless anyway and be fine. And then there's some Dust Toxes here. You're gonna want to catch 2. If you don't catch 2, that's fine. Once again, it's okay to skip things if they're not cooperating. These Dust Toxes are highly, highly, highly uncooperative. And it is what it is. So we're gonna pretend like I didn't spend like a full minute trying to get them. All right. So anyways, Dust Tox is done. Yeah. So I'm just looking down there to see if there's anything interesting. Probably not. I don't know. I'm a catch 'em all runner, so I'm always looking down there. And I saw Chansey, but that's good for catch 'em all, but not for me right now. All right. So for these Apoms, preferably there'd be Apoms all around you. But I think the spawns that are up with me right now are both Murkrows, which kind of sucks because they're very aggro. And then both of these Apoms smelled the same berry for some reason. But yeah, you want to feed 6, catch 3 Apoms. It's not too bad. Actually, if you can, you should feed 6, catch 6, because that will let you skip the evolution of Apom. But at bare minimum, feed 6, catch 3 should be fine. This is slow, but the whole point of this tutorial is to introduce very safe things to do. For people that may be new to this and may not have the patience to deal with things that can be problematic. This is just meant to encompass everything in the game that is non-problematic, in my opinion. So sometimes non-problematic means slow. Alright, so you gotta run over here and watch this cutscene with Volo. Even though we approach from the other side, you can't go talk to Iskin, because I think the game says it seems like nobody's home. Oh, also a very important piece of tech that I just did there and did not explain. In order to not alert Pokemon, I don't have a stealth spray up right now. So, the only thing keeping these Pokemon from seeing me is the fact that I'm crouching, or hearing me is the fact that I'm crouching. Once you've been hit with an attack like this, your first instinct may be to just run around and get away, but stand completely still. Because as long as you do not move while you are put in this forced stand, you will not alert anything. So just stand still, and then crouch if you still need to walk around a little bit without disturbing anything. But yeah, standing still will prevent you from disturbing anything that you don't want disturbed. I know it seems weird to stand still while you're being assaulted, but just trust me. All right, and like I said, you need to watch this Volo cutscene because otherwise this skin's not there. And then we're gonna give him the dust bops. And he's gonna tell us to go back. And then I would recommend warping here back to the camp. That's not what I did because I'm stupid. I mean, all right, I'll show this anyway because nothing really came of it, and I feel like it was a waste of time. But you know, there can be Tanglas out here. If you still need to catch a Tangela, now is the perfect time because there's one right here. And I had a massive skill issue with it, and we won't talk about it. So yeah, once you get back to camp, you want to evolve all of the Spheals that can currently evolve. Because evolving 3 Spheals also finishes Celio, which is great. And then my other Machop is able to evolve, which is great, actually. So for the party going forward, it kind of depends on what you need to finish. If you didn't get enough Dust Toxes, if you didn't get your 2 Dust Toxes, obviously skip Dust Tox. But you definitely want Machoke for your first party member. I'm putting that last Spheal away, even though I haven't evolved it, because with what I intended to go forward with, I didn't have enough room for this Spheal. I'm going to bring this Spheal back into my party for the next area, Coronet Highlands. So my party is going to be Chatot, because I think going to the Fire Spit Island fights without Chatot is a crime. You know, if you don't have Chatot, it can be fine. Gastron can handle it, but you're dealing with a lot more RNG, and RNG is bad. So, what else? There's one more thing I need. Oh yeah, the teddies. You want to take your 2 highest level Teddy Ursas. Hopefully you didn't get any 26s, because a 26 cannot evolve by the time you finish this area from where we are right now, which sucks, but you know, that's life. Yeah, and you can make some great balls, or whatever. You want to sort your inventory. I got a Reaper Cloth, Lamau. So just deposit everything you don't really need. All right, we're just gonna run up to this cutscene with this skin. I deliberately left a spot in my inventory on purpose. That's what the word deliberately means. So I just said that again for no reason. But the important thing to keep in mind is I will let you know when that deliberate empty spot is to be filled. Do not try to catch something on the way to this cutscene, you know, trying to be optimal, because you'll kind of ruin the entire plan here, because this Pokemon we're about to get to fill this slot is the first member of our endgame team. That is a really long, notorious 3-minute cutscene here. So I'm just gonna skip it. All right, once we get Basque Legion, just ride out into the water. And if you have Dust Tox, you want to go ahead and backstrike the first Ghosty Goo you see. I passed a Drifloon there because I know there's some ghost spawns up ahead. You can check the interactive map and play around with it and kind of figure out where the spawns are for yourself and, you know, gain more knowledge that way. But I know there's some dust, what are these things called? Driftblim spawns, or yeah, these ghosts spawn right here in this area. So I knew that. So I came all the way over here. You want to backstrike. It's very, 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 very important to backstrike deliberately. It's going to be the word of the day, deliberately. And then you want to use a strong poison powder. And at this point, if you have caught 2 dust toxes, can't speak. If you have caught 2 dust toxes and used the strong poison powder, dust tox is done. That is all we brought dust tox for. And it's pretty optimal because, as you can see, the riding speed non-dash on Basque Legion is still pretty fast. It's very similar to the situation we were in Obsidian Fieldlands, where we killed Paris and we killed Psyduck with Thunderfang and Ember, not respectively, the other way around. Because, you know, at that point, walking was our fastest mode of transportation. It's a very similar case to that, where riding on Basque Legion, you know, without being able to dash is still pretty fast. So that's why. And then once we get over here, you want to pop another Stealth Spray. And then feed these 3 Shelloses in a circle. I'd recommend using raspberries because, you know, you want whatever one you go for to get in. This tree in the middle of this island is a raspberry, by the way. You kind of want to scout them out and see what their levels are. I saw that one was 33. I saw this one was 32, gave up, and just decided to catch this one. I didn't really care. But 34 is the highest level you can get. So if you're really, really, really picky about the level, you can hang around. That one's 33. There's also this extra one over here that I'm going to catch because you need to have 2 unspotted catches. And I wasn't sure if any of them were unspotted. The highest level I got was 33. So the 32 I caught is not that bad. Okay. So next up we have Finneon. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going ahead and throwing out things I don't want out of my inventory right now. I wouldn't spend too much time on Finneon. You can technically finish Finneon if you catch 4 of them, with 2 of them being unspotted. All of them should be unspotted unless you missed a throw right next to it, because they actually have no vision. But catching 2 right now is actually 80 points. So very, very, very worthwhile to at least get your hands on 2. So I did get my 2. So I'm going to, I wanted to catch that Driftling also, just in case, you know, might as well. But yeah, we're here at Firespit Island. Very important to keep an eye on all of the ores in this area, because all of the ores that are contained on Firespit Island are 100% graveler. This is the first spot in the game where all the ores are 100% graveler. And if you're paying attention in the Obsidian video, I mentioned that in order to finish Geodude, you need 3 catches, 2 evos, and 1 ore pop out watching. And that's the exact same thing you need with Graveler. After you've evolved your 2 Geodudes, you need 1 Graveler popping out of an ore. So very, very, very important. I'm going to go ahead and evolve Shellos. It doesn't really matter when you do this, just make sure you do it before the battle starts. And I just wanted to sort my inventory. Cool. There's a cutscene here. There is a second pathway you can take that saves 4 seconds. If you run up here, you can do some jumps up here and save 4 seconds, but you know, if you go this way, you get to see more ores. So none of mine were shaking, of course, if I could show it off, but yeah. All right, and make sure you're leading Machoke for this battle if you have Machoke. Otherwise, I forgot to mention Vulpix completely. If you get a Vulpix where the original Glammeows we caught were, the research for that is feed 4, catch 1. And then if you get Vulpix, Vulpix is optimal to bring here because it's the best answer to Abomasnow. But if you don't have Vulpix, then obviously you have Machoke. So yeah, you'll need to use Machoke here. So, Machoke is just an appetizer. We should live the Icicle Crash pretty handily. And then we're going to use Strong Bullet Punch just to get more research on Machoke. And now Machoke is actually done. I don't need, you know, I have to kill Ingos anyway. It doesn't matter. But Machoke will be done as of leaving this area. So, Gastrodon's actually able to finish it up from here. You can use Gastrodon or Chatot after Machoke comes out. I think Chatot would have been smarter, but the first thing I thought of was Gastrodon's strong ancient power, so here we are. It probably doesn't matter. You want to make sure your cursor at the bottom is set to the next Pokemon you want up here. This is going to be 3 back-to-back-to-back battles. So the way the game determines what Pokemon comes next is either the next Pokemon in line from the one that is currently, you know, selected, which would have been Chatot anyway. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Or whatever Pokemon your wheel is set to at the bottom. So just to be safe, it's always best to have the wheel set to whatever Pokemon you want to start with next in the next battle. All right, so that's Abomasnow. Now here's Toxicroak. All right, so with Chatot, the best way to deal with this is to use Strong Air Cutter. But I got crit, so I died, and I wasn't faster, so that's fine. We're gonna go Gastrodon, and honestly, this is still a fine outcome, because the thing that Chatot saves you from is Toxicroak using Mud Bomb, The alternative to Chatot is leading Gastrodon. Toxicroak uses Mud Bomb, obscures itself, and then you can literally never hit it. At least now, when we send out Gastrodon, we're first. We go next. So you can just, you know, Earth Power. And again, I did it really quickly, but make sure your wheel at the bottom is set to the next thing you want, which at this point, it should be Gastrodon. So there's a couple ways that this fight with Charm can go. If you are, you know, full health and you go first, use Strong Mud Bomb. It's a 95 accurate move. It gives you some research and it makes the fight pretty much safe from here. If you don't go first, you're just gonna spam Earth Power and pray. Or if you're not at full health. Pretty much you only do this if you're at full health. Otherwise, just spam Earth Power. Only if you are at full health and you go first. Otherwise, spam Earth Power. Now, because we're obscured, Gengar doesn't want to use Hypnosis or anything else that can miss. So Gengar is going to use Dark Pulse. One weird change they made to this game is they made it where hold on. Okay, they made it to where any move that ends with the word pulse never misses. And I don't know why they did that. I cannot explain. But they did. So that's why Gengar is using this. And unless he crits you, you should never die. And then just Earth Power. Alright, so that's that. And then the next thing is the Arcanine battle. We don't need to do anything before going in. And the strategy for this is going to be very, very, very simple. Hold on, I got Alright, so the strategy here is throw bombs, dive through it when it charges, and get to the middle. And you being in the middle baits it to go to the middle. Now, we're going to repeat that. Just throw bombs until it charges at you. And dive through it to get to the middle. You're invulnerable while you dive. And then you being in the middle baits it to go to the middle. And then you're going to turn around, throw bombs at it while it's in the middle. And then dive through it when it charges. And then, you know, go to the middle. You being in the middle baits it to go to the middle. And then, you know, the next phase, you're going to throw some up throws to, you know, thaw out the invulnerability. This next phase is going to be a little bit different. You're going to dive through it. You know, you're going to be in the middle. You being in the middle is going to bait it to go to the middle. And then you're going to throw bombs until it dives at you. And honestly, this strat continues. Just dive through it, be in the middle. Don't be scared that there's fire there. It's very minimal damage. You being in the middle baits the Arcanine to be in the middle, but I messed up somehow. But trust me, this works. And it's not too bad to back up. For some reason, I guess I wasn't far enough in the middle, and Arcanine didn't want to go to the middle for some reason. But yeah, I backed it up pretty well. There's nothing wrong with being in the middle. As you can see, I've been here for like multiple hits. It's not really that big a deal. And then he's done. So there's a lot of cutscenes here. Gonna warp back to camp, evolve my Teddiursas, and put them away. The only thing we're bringing with us out of this area is Gastrodon. So, if you enjoyed this video, if you got any value out of this video, consider subscribing and leaving a like on the video. Let me know. Let me know in the comment section if you had any questions or anything about what we did in this video. Oh, I forgot to mention. After you've deposited everything, if you didn't get 6 APOMs, you should withdraw APOM, evolve it, and then put it away, because that will finish APOM. Yeah, other than that, this has been a good 30-minute video. So I will see you guys in the next part, where we will be covering Cobalt, or this is Cobalt, Coronet Highlands. So I'll let the video close itself out, and I will see you guys for the next part, Coronet Highlands. Goodbye. I'll let the research play out. The spoiler alert, I have a lot of points. 7,500 is a lot right now. From here, I only need 1,000 points, which is just finishing 5 more Pokemon. So, yeah. yeah, we'll do that in the next video. See you guys later.